Right, it's qualifying time, and I saw Rohe went out first to start the qualifying.
me this whole time. What's cooking? What's cooking? What's cooking, everybody? You have to share your stream, by the way, or your screen, rather. Ah, no worries, mate. I was just enjoying MotoGP, and now I'm back to commentate. There we go. How has our fellow co-commentator been these last few days? Why don't you tell the viewers what you've been up to this past week?
Yeah, so these past few weeks I've been grinding away the hours. Despite my time being away from university, I was also investing my time into practicing. Since I was competing.
You're gonna tell the viewers what you've been up to in terms of competing?
Yeah, I attended the league race in SRPH with the GR86 Cup, and yeah, I've been having a time of my life.
Absolutely.
As far as that's concerned, it's still too early to tell though. If I'm enjoying it.
You forgot the point. You forgot the fact that you won one of the races and you finished second in the other one. You got pole position as well, didn't you?
Yes, that is true. I did go pole position. In the first round, the first race, I think I did my best to hold that first place rather, and I did my best, grinding my way up from 22nd place up to second place in race 2 because it was a reverse grid.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the reverse grid races are just very, very time consuming, aren't they? In terms of how many laps you can methodically work your way past the drivers. So, I mean, honestly, the fact he came back to finish second, I think that's a win in itself, isn't it? Obviously, we would have liked to have won, but actually, second place in the reverse grid race, not bad at all.
Not bad indeed, but I think all of these accolades for now is irrelevant.
Yeah. So now, with 4 minutes left in this qualifying session, while all this has been happening, just so you know, Kenjake, the stream is a bit laggy for me. The one you're sharing on Discord, just a bit, ever so slightly. But at the moment, the bus is on pole position currently with a 34.9, with NAF just under 2 tenths behind, about a tenth and a half behind. Cat another further 3.5 tenths behind that. With regards to this racetrack, Kenjake, I mean, what can we expect this weekend? It's a very straightforward. It looks like a very straightforward track, but looks can be deceiving, can't it, around the Red Bull Ring?
I mean, to tell you honestly, it's one of the more basic tracks out there, but yeah, technique goes a long way in this racetrack.
The fact that it is, quote-unquote, an easier track also means that it will be so much harder to make for the drivers to make a difference, isn't it? Because the field should be, in theory, a lot more closer together. Not any slow-speed corners apart from the exception of turn 3. A few fast corners, obviously the middle sector. The last 2 corners are absolutely epic, and those last 2 corners are probably some of the best corners on any racetrack, in my personal opinion. It is beautiful to fling a car around through there. So,
yeah, to tell you honestly, with the GT4 cars, I'm not quite confident to throw it around the last sector.
Absolutely using liberties there on entry. Not sure if that's legal, Rohe, but we did say at the top of the show that anything goes in qualifying, not in the race. So
that is true. Yep.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. So just under 3 minutes to go left on the clock. It seems as though, Kenjake, that Rohe is a bit off the pace this weekend, isn't he? I mean, I was on the server earlier just doing some wet weather practice. Just if the viewers don't know, I was probably going to race this weekend if it was wet, but it's not. So, but yeah, Rohe seemed off the pace, and I had a feeling that he must have been running a lot of fuel on the car. And as it turns out, that may have been his pace. He's struggling for pace at the moment. So the current championship leader, let's not forget the bus cut the advantage last time out at Kailami. So Rohe currently down in 5th place, Kenjake, and with the season coming to a close, only 3 rounds to go after this one. It's getting to that point of the season where if you make a mistake or have an off weekend, you you do not have the time round to make it up. So it'll be very interesting to see.
Yeah, at this point, it's make it or break it.
Absolutely. So let's follow on board with Rohe. Well, not on board, rather. Let's see his lap as it unfolds. So goes through turn number 1, uses the exit curve quite well there. It'll be very difficult to say what sort of lap time. Oh, so he did a 35.5 the last time around. But I'm going to assume that lap time was probably invalidated, wasn't it? Because his best lap time according to the leaderboard is a 36.
Yes, it is true. Yes, it was invalidated because
he ran probably wide. Yeah, he probably ran wide through the last 2 corners, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Especially the last corner is very strict in game as well. So.
Yeah, very, very strict. And I'll be honest, man. I was driving this track earlier, and the last 2 corners just don't feel right with GT cars. You know, if you do them in an open wheel, you can really feel those last 2 corners. But in this one, it was a lot like. Yeah,
I'd probably argue in the GT3 cars where you're much more dependent on aero, it might have feel good, but on these GT4 cars, I would be very feathering that throttle.
Absolutely. So this is Rohe's penultimate lap of the day. Should he have the fuel and have the will to continue for one more? So let's see what sort of lap time this yields for our championship leader. Going for his first ever league championship here at Artito this year. He has very hot competition obviously behind him. That's qualifying over for him. 17 seconds left on the clock. The best Rohe can hope for is 5th place on the grid. And this man out here is looking to grab another pole position. And Kenjay, this championship battle is really heating up now because the bus is stamping his authority. He is showing up on every racetrack this season, and he has been right on the pace. And so he did have an off weekend. Off the top of my head, I can't remember which one, but it feels as though Rohe's had a few off weekends now, and it's starting to get to a point where he can't afford them.
Maybe these last few tracks is maybe more towards.
And let's not forget, we're going to Heret. We're going to Heret in like a week's time, I believe, and we know that Rohe, we know he's practiced there, but he has admittedly said himself before that he is not the best at learning new tracks. So as here comes the bus across the line, is he going to go faster? Wow, a 34.8. Take that to the rest of the field. What a lap time.
10 faster indeed. Yeah, I just can't believe it. He's like Max Verstappen at this point. I just watched the qualifying as well where he did a 138.7 I believe, or 138.8.
Yeah.
Was it not? Yeah, there it is where he's extend that lead ever so slightly.
Yeah, 3/10 per second. In a spec series, Kendrick, we all know how much a tenth makes a difference in a spec series. So with 3/10 on the rest of the field, incredible. And I would like to point out, Kendrick, we've got 3 different cars in the top 3 right now. We've got...
That is true. That is quite different.
We've got a McLaren and a BMW and a Mercedes. So
yeah, 4 different manufacturers to represent in the top 4, I guess.
Well, what manufacturer is Rogers running? Isn't he in the McLaren?
Let's see. Yeah, Rogers is
so
in the McLaren.
3 different in the top 3 then.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Wait, Nath is in the McLaren. Nath did change to the McLaren, didn't he? I thought he was the BMW still.
Yeah, he changed.
Oh, that's my bad. Apologies to the viewers, but yeah.
But Rossi is still running the M4.
Yep. So, but qualifying now, dwindling.
I gotta ask you at this point. If you're still running with the M4 at this late of the season, given that you are what the hell? You have the opportunity to change car, yeah? Are you practically putting yourself in a handicap if you're still running with the M4 at this point of the season?
Potentially, but I feel like that would make obviously a bigger difference to the ones running for a championship. I feel like Rashi is doing a part-time season, so for him, he may not care as much. But definitely, as a race car driver, you want to put yourself in the best equipment possible, you know.
Exactly.
And when you have the chance to go. But I guess it's also another thing where you get used to a car, you get comfortable with the car, and another car may be quicker on theory, but the time to learn it and to drive it again, which may require a change in your driving style, you have to wonder, Kendrick, if it's worth it, you know? So that must play another factor. I mean, the setups are locked, so I won't comment too much on the setups, but yeah. But now, as qualifying dwindles to an end, it's going to be the bus on pole position with a 34.8, Nav 35.1, just under 3 tenths behind, with Cat another further 3 tenths behind, Rogers another further 3 tenths behind. Seems like a bit of a theme, doesn't it, Kenjay? With Rohe another 3 tenths behind, and Julia Brown just over 3/100s rather, behind Rohe. Tucci another 3 tenths behind, with Joshua Lee about a tenth behind him. Rashi from Turkey in 9th place, just another 2/100s behind Joshua Lee, and Brad M in 10th place. Pretty close between 7th and 10th, isn't it, Kenjay? Just over a tenth of a second there. So yeah,
Yes, that is true. I mean, they are the midfield, so they're practically going to be battling each other. So I'm not expecting more or less from them.
absolutely. BRB, give me a sec.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so as we now wait for the race, Kenjay, who do you think is the favorite for this race?
And at this point, it's obvious. I think it's going to be the bus, but as we say in racing, we never say anything until the very end. So.
Yeah, you never know. He's still got to navigate through turn 1. He still has to navigate himself to turn 3. I would definitely say, with the nature of the track and turn 1 being a fast corner, turn 3 has more potential, especially with another straight after turn 1 to have more incidents. We've seen that in the past, IRL. And I can't remember if we had it in our league, but IRL, we've definitely noticed that. So, just in a minute and a half now for this race to begin. We do know Naf likes to get to can't English apparently. We do know Naf likes to get his elbows out. But he's a clean and hard racer, so it'll be interesting to see if he can pull alongside the bus. What can he do? We've got 3 McLarens in the top 3 with Slushy Cat in 3rd place in the Mercedes. Look out for her. The Mercedes does have good straight line speed, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, just on a minute to go now. Calm before the storm, isn't it?
Yeah, I tell you what, if Naf didn't take the position at the first corner, Naf still have 2 more straights to get that position away from him.
Absolutely, very good point you make there, Kendrick. So a lot of times around the Red Bull Ring, it is, especially in high downforce cars, it's definitely preferable to set up the move for turn 3 rather than, either turn 3 or turn 4 rather than turn 1. Because if you go for the move at turn 1, you leave yourself a sitting duck towards turn 3 and then onto turn 4. So we'll see if that strategy plays into the minds of our 10 to 11 Artito racers who have shown up for this race. With 12 seconds now left on the clock, the start sequence will begin shortly as we now have the 6 red lights starting to illuminate. And as the lights go out, round 7 of season 7 is go. It seems as though Bus has got a very good start and he should have enough of a legs advantage to maintain position going to turn number 1. Slushy Cat has just enough car width alongside, just about a car width alongside Naf maybe to hang it around the outside. Nope, nothing doing there, but she'll have the straight after that to make a mention. Very, very clean turn one indeed. So it seems though Swartz had a bit of a moment. He's lost pace with the leading pack. So we go now towards turn number 3. Cat has to go defensive. Rogers is going to be right.
Oh my god, here it goes.
Here we go, turn
Oh,
3.
there's someone hit.
It seems as though there was a bit of a moment.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah,
I think it was between Rohe though.
yeah, Nats dropped down to 4th. Cat's up into 2nd. Wonder what's going on there. So Cat's lost the place to yeah, Cat's lost the place there, and Cat's gonna come under attack from Rogers now. Down into turn number 4. It seems as though Cat's managed to hold position with Rogers in 3rd, but Nat had a horrible turn 2, turn 3 rather.
Yeah.
Would like to know after the race what happened there, because he had plenty of an advantage over. Cat behind, so if he just missed his breaking point, what? But
there's there's something going on between Julia Brown and Rohe. I think it's their connection.
Yes.
But yeah.
Oh my goodness, look at the battle for second. We've got 3 cars. He can put a blanket over those 2. Rogers is trying to hang it around the outside. And well, damn, like nothing doing there. You cannot make a move stick around the outside. Let's go on board with Naf, shall we now? Because I think Naf is the... Oh yeah, let's go on board with Rohe. That seems to be the closest battle on the racetrack. Julia Brown goes defensive. Rohe will have the outside going to turn number 1. Remember what I said at the start of the show, Kendrick? Or start of the race, rather? Will he set it up for turn number 3? Will he set it up for turn number 1? Wow, he's setting liberties with track limits. Let's keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
my god, that Rohe spun!
Disaster.
Hit the sausage
Disaster for the championship leader. He will be down in 10th place with his main championship rival in 1st place. That is massive in context of the World Championship, Kenjay. Absolutely crazy.
And already, Slushy Cat diving down the inside and Rogers almost hit Nap.
Yeah, Rogers almost hit Nap. Nap's gonna go for the old switcheroo, as David Croft would like to say. It seems as though he should have enough of a traction advantage, but not quite enough to put alongside Cat. I did say the Mercedes is pretty good in a straight line, but Nap, with the slipstream, has been able to put his front splitter alongside Cat, but it seems as though nothing to that. Rogers misses his braking point, and he closed in quite a bit. Cat's hit the wheel on.
Cat dips into
dips it onto the gravel ever so slightly. That's gonna compromise her exit. Thankfully for her, the straight isn't too long. Well, the kink rather to the next corner is not as strong, but I think the gravel on the tires.
Yeah, there we go. That goes down the inside.
Yeah, I think the gravel on the tires is definitely affecting her handling, because you can see that she just did not have the downforce or the grip as she turned towards the corner. And yeah, you can just see how wide she went. They're gonna go 3 abreast here, I believe. Hold your breath, ladies and gentlemen.
Just wait for Rogers here.
Yeah, Rogers is definitely. Is he gonna make it 3 wide? Let's see.
Maybe they down the inside. Rogers goes.
Oh, got his elbows out. Big time. Cat's gone wide. Oh, Rogers nearly lost the car. Julia Brown
also getting involved.
Yeah, Julia Brown's entered this battle, hasn't she? So as we now enter lap number 3 of this race, once again Rogers getting his elbows out, isn't he? We all know he's not afraid to get his elbows out. Great to see him up there fighting for the podium, isn't it, Kendrick? So now Cat's gone wide.
That is true. And
Cat's gone wide.
there, I saw her.
Yeah, beached it on the sausage curb. Thankfully for her, it did end quite as bad as Rohe. But Nat now will have the exit speed. He will be on the outside, however, turn number 3. Let's see if he hangs it around the outside. Yes, he will, it seems as though. Or will he go for the late switchback? No, he hangs it around the outside. Fair call, and he has the exit. Nat up into 3rd, Cat down to 4th.
Yeah, I might ask you that once again. I just saw those guys pass that white line with all 4 into the braking zone on turn 3. Is that even legal?
It is not. So
once again, yeah, Rogers once again doing it.
That's the second time we've seen Rogers do it, isn't it? So
yeah, that is true.
Remember, we have to remember, Kenji, 3 strikes and it's a penalty.
True. Yeah, and
I did say at the top of the show.
Bear that in mind.
I did say at the top of the show, you put the white line defines the track limits in the race. So clearly that message has seemed to have not gone through the drivers. I will be putting out a message on the server chat shortly. Let me just see another lap to see what's happening. But
I just saw Rogers
strike 3. That is definitely strike 3 for Rogers. He's definitely gonna have a penalty coming his way at the end of this race. So
unfortunate for him.
Yeah, well, rules are rules, sadly, Kenjik, as they say, isn't it? So is Nat now trying to set up a move to turn number 1, self the dummy. Sadly, Rogers will not buy that, I believe. Yeah, and he holds position. Oh, but he definitely once again did not have
exit.
Yeah, he did not have the exit through there. Nat will find a way around the outside. While all this has been happening, Kenjik, Look at that gap between first and second. Wow.
Yes, that is true. I mean, Tim Stahl is just running away with this race. This is his dream come true.
Yeah, I know.
These guys are battling behind him, and he's
Beautiful
just
switch back there
away.
from that. Absolutely beautiful to watch. Textbook. Absolutely textbook. And now he will pull alongside and ahead of Rogers going into the braking zone, and he will also have the inside line. We know Rogers will not be afraid to hang it around the outside. Cat absolutely charges into the
It's
corner.
right there, only there.
Oh,
my God!
That's
Isn't that a Lewis Hamilton move?
Oh, I think Cat may have missed a braking point, and that will surely be a penalty coming the way of the Thai driver. Yeah, it seems.
No, yeah. It's like, what are the odds? A Thai driver hitting someone.
So, yeah, once again, Cat getting caught up in an incident. Not the first time, probably won't be the last time either, so.
I'm not surprised at this point, so yeah, I did call out for those dive bombs.
Yeah. Anyways,
anyway,
take over for a bit, Kenjek. I'm gonna put out a few messages on the. I'm gonna put a few messages out on the server chat. Thanks.
Right, here we go. Suchi and Rasi getting close to each other. Barely any room for each other, to be honest with you. But here we go. Will we see a move down the inside on turn 1? Pretty far away for now. As they line up a move, and Rossi is taking the liberties out of that track extension. But here we go, Suchi with a better exit than Rossi. And halfway through, Suchi is already side by side, maybe even more. Down the braking, it will be crucial for the both of them. Who will take it? Unfortunately for that, I'm very sorry guys for that technical difficulties as I press one of those buttons on the keyboard. I fat fingered it, but here we go. Suchi is well ahead of Rasi now. And will Rasi take that position back? No, I guess not. Still very far away now.
Alright. Did that message get through? I think it did.
Yep, I did see that message come through.
Okay. Beautiful. So now we've got a bit of a train forming here behind Julia Brown, I think.
Yes, that is true, but Rossi is fighting back indeed.
He is trying.
Really close between each other. Yeah, there we go. This is the hard battles that I really want to see, and Brad M is getting involved as well behind him.
Yeah, Brad M is bringing himself into the battle. Rohe as well is bringing himself into the battle.
Yeah.
What Rohe needs to do right now is just go purely to damage limitation.
Oh, somebody went wide. Somebody went wide.
I think that's Rashi, isn't it?
It's both Rashi and Brad M's. Yeah.
Brad M and Rashi. Oh.
Unfortunately, and I think Rogers got collected from the rejoin.
Yeah, ever so slightly. Yeah, ever so slightly. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. So.
But there we are. Just as the camera cuts, I just saw them crash.
The bus once again has no idea of the drama happening behind him this afternoon. Why?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much Max Verstappen race here.
Yeah, Rohe taking a bit of liberties with track limits there once again. That's his second strike, I believe. So.
Yeah, so both. Yeah. Clearly, the message have not been conveyed by
let's go on board with Kat as well, shall we? Just to see what she's up to with regards to track limits, and we'll also go on board with Naf as well later on. I did see both of them taking a bit of liberties with track limits a bit earlier on in the race, so that seems alright to me.
It's barely on the line, yeah.
Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. Got a 2-second gap to Naf ahead. Yeah, 15 minutes left on the clock, Kenjek. Yeah, this race is still slowly starting to take shape, and yeah, that looked alright, I guess.
Oh, she's missing the apex.
Wide. That's a bit wide, I would say, as well. It's very hard doing a race director job and a commentating job at the same time, so you guys are getting a live...
Doing the commentary job isn't easy as well, to tell you honestly, because you really have to find the right words for the right moment.
Absolutely. So, yeah, probably that was her second extension, I think. So, see what happens. But let's just monitor a lap on board with her, and then we go on board with NAF to see what they're doing. Honestly, I don't know. I don't even think there's any point in going on board with the bus. no matter what penalty you give him, he'll probably still find a way to win this afternoon. Such has been the pace of him in that McLaren today. So, but behind them, all bets are off as to who gets second. Anything can happen, strategy, whatnot. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, Cat's slowly starting to open up the gap to her teammate behind in 4th place. So the lead was we've got 3 Mercedes drivers, but yeah, 4 Mercedes drivers. What car is Swordfish?
Yeah.
Is he in the BMW or is he in the Merc?
No, Swordfish is using the Merc.
Okay, so
But yeah, there we go. As we can see the perspective from Kat herself.
absolutely. So it seems as though the Mercedes is pretty stable, isn't it? But it just doesn't have the raw pace of the McLaren around this racetrack. Like you can just tell that the McLaren's got a bit more brute power and force, and especially cornering ability. Yeah, the McLaren's
Now
just
I'll tell you what, in this racetrack, I would rather go for cornering rather than straight line.
absolutely, which is contrary to popular belief. So pretty clean lap there from Slushy Cat. Let's go on board with the driver. She is chasing the Bruneian Minister of Defense, as we like to call him, Nath. So he is taking. Let's go on the outboard view, shall we, Ken Jake? I feel like the outboard view will give a bit more of a better indication with regards to how the track limits is going between all of them. So it did seem as though he did take a bit of liberties that time around with track limits, but we'll see as we go into turn number 3. He's staying well behaved there.
Really fine.
Yeah, beautiful.
These guys are getting behaved now.
Yeah, give me a moment.
Right, the battle behind in 5th, battle for 5th place is between Lee and Rohe.
Yeah,
Sorry, correction there. It's against Julia Brown and Lee.
Yeah, we've got a big battle here for 4th place. That gap behind Slushy Cat is starting to open up ever so slightly. 7 seconds, so see what happens. I do expect Rohe potentially, although pace he's shown this afternoon, I don't know if he has the pace to stay within 10 seconds of Cat, whether if she should get a penalty for that incident with Rogers.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Needs a little bit of luck right here.
he needs a
But
bit
I
of luck.
just saw Rohe as well crossing the white lines again.
Yeah, Rohe will definitely be having a time penalty coming his way this race. So will Rogers, as a matter of fact, and definitely Slushy Cat as well will get a time penalty at the end of this race. So yeah,
Oh, there we go again, yeah. Clear, I think it's very clear now at this point. Yeah, but there it goes.
Rogers.
Let's see, Joshua Lee sizing up a move down the inside on Julia Brown.
Can he make a stick? Nope. Oh my god, Rohe.
It's inevitable at this point.
1 second.
How many times do I have to remind these guys? I mean, at a track like this, is it inevitable? Should we still control them?
Yeah, 1 second.
And there we go, Joshua Lee sizes a move down the inside against Julia Brown in 33. But they're still side by side down the straight, in the back straight. And there we go, diving down the inside. No, Joshua thinks better of himself. No, goes down the inside and capitalizes on
Max
that.
at stick, beautiful. But Julia Brown will have the inside going into turn number 5, I would like to say. Oh my god!
My goodness me, Rohe. I think it's just avoiding the incident.
Oh,
But there we go,
that's
Joshua Lee
contact.
and Julia Brown. Joshua Lee stuck in the gravel.
Thankfully for him, he won't quite beach it there, but it's unfortunate. Another contact. Another piece of contact between 2 drivers, and this first time, it's the second time I've seen that, so yeah.
I'll tell you what, against that corner, it's really hard to go side by side because the car is just understeering.
Absolutely. So, seems like Kat's had a bit of a moment. She was just under a second behind that time around, and she's lost about 2 or 3 seconds to NAF on this lap, so he must have had a moment
Meanwhile,
this
at
time.
the back, there's the first battle we're having, the battle for 10th place for 1 single point against Rogers and Brad M.
Yeah, you know what they say, can take every single point counts. So we've got Brad M currently in 10th place, Rogers in 11th. Rogers,
Joshua Lee going down the pit lane.
Yeah, Joshua Lee getting that pit stop done. Might as well, considering the race he's at. Oh, Rogers.
outbroke himself probably.
Yeah, I think he just outbroke himself there, and yeah, he's gonna lose a ton of time to Brad M in front.
There
But
we go. The
they have a
closest
battle.
battle ended up in tears.
Yeah, Rogers does seem to have the pace this weekend, so I expect him to be on the gearbox of the Mercedes in front of him very shortly. I believe the Mercedes has got his gearbox right at the back, doesn't it? I'm not sure. I'm not an expert with these
I'm
cars.
not sure as well.
Yeah, so
No, I mean they're homologated, so they're like they came from the real stock cars, the road going cars. So I presume it's still on the middle.
interesting. Okay, so we run on the bumper then. Let's just leave it nice and simple. But yeah, concentrating on the battle of the next even position with points on the table, P8. So we've got currently Swordfish holding it in the Mercedes. We've got Rashi right behind him in 9th place. Two of the Caritas regulars. Great to have Swordfish racing with us today. Seems though Rashi does have the pace at the moment, but obviously Swordfish does have their track position advantage. See where Rashi potentially makes a move here. He does seem to have pretty good pace and taking a bit of wider entries, it seems as though, from the onboards we've seen so far. And he's definitely carrying that speed on the exit. Ever so slightly dips the wheel on the gravel, but I don't think that really cost him anything. So, see, we go into the final two corners now, and Sword runs a very tight line. It's going to run wide as a result, and that's going to really going to compromise his line into the final corner as well, and really put himself in a position to be attacked going into turn number 1. But like I said, the slipstream in these cars is not as strong, but you probably don't want to overtake here at turn 1 anyway, because you've got another big long straight after that with a very slow speed corner.
Oh my goodness, that's very close between the two.
Yeah, Rashi got really close. So he made a lot of time on the brakes, and now he's going to be right.
There we go. We might see a move sizing up on turn 3.
Yeah, we may get a move going into turn number 3 this time around. Swordfish not really taking a defensive line, potentially realizes that this is a battle that
down the inside go Rashi goes.
Just a bit of latency contact, I think, but Swordfish
down,
just overshot it a bit, and he makes it stick. I was gonna say maybe Swordfish is realizing that this is a battle not worth fighting, but maybe he must have been playing 4D chess inside that cockpit, isn't it, Kenjay? Gets back up into 8th place to hold on to those 4 championship points coming his way should he finish there. But Rashi wants to double his points tally at the moment. He's got 2. He wants 4. He hasn't raced for a while, Kenjay, so he will definitely want to make amends.
That is true, yeah. It's right at the moment he's fighting for his life out here.
Yeah, Rohe with a fastest lap of the race, 35.9. So now he's starting to show that pace, which has been missing for most of this afternoon. Sword had a bit of a moment there through that quick left correction.
Around the outside.
Yeah, Rashi will have the outside, and he should be able to just carry that momentum onto the fast 2 right-handers. Unless Sword tries to stick it around the inside, he did, but I think Rashi will just have that entry speed with that wider turn, and Rashi up into 8th place. Next up, Joshua Lee in 7th place, but he's got 10 seconds. And we do know the Mercedes is quick in a straight line, so let's see if Swordfish can have a chance to regain that position he just lost. Look to the inside of turn number 1, nothing doing there, and yeah, once again with that line he's going to compromise his exit, and maybe that battle is going to be all she wrote, I think, unless Rashi makes an incredible mistake going into turn number 3, which I don't think he will.
I mean, at this point these guys are already veterans, so yeah, these guys know how to do better of themselves.
On board with,
but as I said that they're going to sausage curves.
Yeah, let's go on board with Sashika. She's starting to eke into that gap behind Nap ever so slightly. That gap was on. She's going into the pit lane.
Oh, it's going to the pit.
Speak of the devil. She's going into the pit lane, going for an undercut on Nap ahead. Let's see how that strategy works out for her.
What happened there?
I think Sword must have found a way. I believe Sword in the slipstream was right behind Rashi, went for a move into turn number 4 and completely just locked up. No, not locked up, but he completely missed his braking point, and he went straight on. So I believe that's what happened. And with that mistake, and is a monumental mistake for him, and he's going to potentially lose his final position, final points paying position rather, and slip down to 11th. Rogers will have the outside. He does have a bit more pace this weekend. Can Rogers stick it around the outside, or will Sword hang it? Rogers once again taking liberty to the track limits. Kenjay, that's 2 strikes already. in one lap
Yep.
or the sequence of 2 laps. So Rogers also will have a time penalty coming his way. So I think at this point, Kendrick, it is very safe to say that Rogers and Rohe will definitely have a time penalty coming their way for track limits.
Exactly, but here we go with Lee. I think he's flashing.
Yeah,
towards
Joshua Lee
Suchi
going
right
for a
here.
move down the inside of Suchi. Nothing doing there. Suchi realizes that he's got
Ooh,
Joshua Lee
swerve
right
and
behind.
exit.
Yeah, and I think he got beat on the sausage curve ever so slightly as well. He's got to compromise his exit. Joshua Lee will tuck in right behind, but I don't think he's going to be close enough for a move going into turn number 4. Suchi should hold that line.
Oh, he's thinking about
he
it.
thought
He was
about
thinking
it.
about it.
He definitely thought about it. He definitely did not leave anything on the braking point or the braking marker there, did he? He absolutely sent it, and yeah, thankfully for him and Suchi in front of him, he didn't send it too hard. But for now, he's gonna have to stay tucked right behind in 6th place.
Yeah, they're still fairly close to each other.
Naf is now in the pit
battle
lane.
stays on till the next lap.
Yeah, Naf is now in the pit lane.
now.
Let's now monitor what he is doing and where he comes out in relation to Slushy Cat. So there he is. There is Naf coming out of the pit lane now, and there is Cat. So yeah, it seems as though Naf has made the overcut work, and that has pretty much secured 3rd place for him. Let's go on board with Rohe really quickly, see if Rohe has made his mandatory pit stop, and it seems as though he has. So great damage limitation for Rohe.
Yeah.
Let's go on board with the bus now, shall we? We've not really been on board with him, and yeah, he's also made his mandatory pit stop, 14 seconds ahead in what has been a dream afternoon for him, and he's going to make a massive dent into the championship, Kendrick. I'm going to quickly have a look at the championship standings after the last race. The championship standings after the last race was 31 points coming into today, with the pole position and fastest lap and a race win coming his way, with Rohe down in 4th place, potentially moving up to 3rd with a penalty coming in. Penalty coming Cat's way. Yeah, it'll be a big day for him. We're looking at potentially 15 points for Rohe, and 27 points for Bus. That's a 12-point swing, Kendrick, and that 31 points becomes 19, and we still have a sprint race to go. Big day in Destiny of the Championship.
Day for Tim indeed.
Yeah, Tim Stahl, the Bus, in his rookie season, in a McLaren going for a championship. Where have I heard that before? A rookie in a McLaren going for a world championship. Obviously not quite the same stakes as when it previously happened, obviously. But yeah.
Should we take legal actions?
You really went there, huh?
Yeah,
Let's go on board with Rogers, shall we? Seems to be a great battle for 7th place, it seems. Rogers starting to close the gap on the Mercedes of Julia Brown in front. So both these drivers have been collected in incidents this afternoon. Seems as though Rogers once again just running wide there. Yeah. Not ideal.
Yeah, I think it's finally getting into him.
Yeah, like I said, both of these drivers obviously got collected in incidents earlier. So they'll be desperate to make amends after those incidents, but yeah, it seems as though Rogers just overdrove that car ever so slightly, once again taking liberties with track limits, and he's gonna have
I don't think he's getting the signal or message.
He's gonna have a very hefty time penalty coming his way at the end of this race. So yeah, we're gonna have.
Is it deliberate or he just didn't know?
I don't know, because it seems as though he is doing it every corner, Kendrick.
Yeah, I mean,
wow. Keep monitoring this one up.
I have no words at the moment.
It doesn't really matter, because whatever penalty we'll give him, it seems as though he will be dropping down the field anyway. But yeah, I mean, he's just extending every corner when I clearly said that the white line defines track limits. So
yeah. I also said that in the driver's briefing, so I don't know. Is it ignorance?
I don't know. Well, thankfully he kept it within the white lines there somehow. So that's a good start. Let's see if he does the same here. Oh, he does. Okay. There you go.
I doubt he can hear me.
Well, what's the haps, Kendrick? You reckon he's gonna keep it in the white lines? Rohe 35.8 on that lap. I wonder if that's enough to see.
I bet you he wouldn't.
Let's see on the entry going into Q&A. Oh, he does. He does.
Okay, there we go.
He lost time, to be fair, doing that. So but he still went over, and he's gone over again. So
Yep, there you go. That swan song is indeed finished.
So we'll definitely we'll definitely need to have a look into that post race. But 2 laps to go. Once again, Rogers is closing that gap. Wow. Julia Brown definitely had a bit of a moment there on the exit, so that's going to put Rogers right on the heels, and probably the last person you want in your rear view mirrors in an Artito league race, if her name's not Slushy Cat, is Rogers. And he's going to size up a move going into turn number 3. Julia Brown seems to be struggling a bit with connection, Ken Jake. Once again, with Rogers going with that extension.
I saw that.
Julia Brown is definitely having some connection issues, because it seems as though he definitely had the same issue with Rohe at lap 1, if you remember.
Well, definitely I can see him sliding, yeah.
Yeah, so... yeah, Brown just about keeping it, but Rogers is throwing everything and some more with the trying to catch the Mercedes, but just not enough. As the bus has begun the final lap, let's go on board with him on this final lap, as this battle seems to have cooled down for now. Keep a tabs on it, but yeah, once again, straightforward drive. And I mean, when you're going for a championship with so much at stake, with such a close championship battle, sometimes wins that
Is
cup.
he lapping someone?
Yeah, he may be coming up to Swordfish, yeah. So Swordfish not having a great afternoon or great morning. I don't know where he is. I believe he's from Spain. So, and I believe Spain is early afternoon. So yeah, he's not having a great afternoon. So yeah, the bus making a big claim in this championship, isn't he? It seems as though he will not get the fast.
Oh my goodness me, on the line!
Yeah, Rogers going for a move into turn number 1, and he makes it stick, I believe.
Sheesh.
He does.
Yes, he did. No, wait, hold on. On the exit.
And he's gone wide there. And Julia Brown once again takes it. Rogers will go right back into slipstream. So, can he make a move going into turn number 3? Let's see. Following the bus, we don't know where to look. But I think Rogers will just be a bit too far behind, as he's taking big limp. Oh my god, that's... yeah.
Let's quickly go back to
let's go on board with the bus. Right behind Swordfish, but he's the first car on the track, and the bus comes across the final corner, makes a big dent in the championship, and wins race 1 of round 7. And yeah, pretty much a perfect day. But when you're fighting for a championship, every point counts, and I believe Rohe will steal that fastest lap point from the bus. But regardless, 26 points in the bag with pole position and a race win, and the natural finish in 2nd place with Slushy Cat in 3rd, and Rohe now 6 seconds behind in 4th place, potentially 3rd with a penalty coming.
I'll tell you what happened with Roger and Julia.
I have no idea. We'll have to have a look at it post-race, obviously, but it seems as though they must have had a moment there somewhere, and Rogers will be in 7th, but I can tell you now he will not be finishing there with the amount of track limit warnings. And once again, Julia Brown having some technical difficulties with the connections and gone wide.
Oh my goodness me. Okay, what is going on? Who is gonna finish? It's a drag race.
And I think the Mercedes does have the legs in a straight line, like I said. So Julia Brown takes 8th with Rashi in 9th on his return, and Swordfish will come home to take the final points, and the bus is still chasing him. the bus is still driving. He's somebody tell him the race is over. he's got into such a zone that he's probably forgotten that the race is he's just weaving. He knows the race is over. He's doing a victory lap.
He's just cheering him on, yeah.
He's just doing a victory lap.
Cheering him on.
Swordfish, the Caritas owner, comes across the final corner, and he will get a solitary point, and it's great to have him back in the Mercedes, obviously. And yeah, there it is, 1 single point for him. But yeah, that is race 1. We've got another race coming, and he will be in pole position. He will be in pole position for the 2nd race. So, be interesting to see what he can do, but the bus, 26 points. Yeah. What can I say? That gap will come down to 20 points, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm quite excited now for race 2. How do you think the bus will fare on race 2? Reverse grid, everything's getting chaotic as we all see.
I think if I'm him, with the pace I have this afternoon, just take it easy. He has so much pace in hand compared to everybody else on that racetrack today. He doesn't have to take risks. He can just take it easy, and I still think he'll find a way to win this race. So we'll see how the reverse grid race goes. And with that being said, Kendrick, I will be right back.
after this quick commercial break.
All right, made it back just in time for the reverse grid race. So just over a minute to go on the clock. Like I said, Swordfish will be on pole position, Rashi in second, Julia Brown in third, Rogers in fourth, and Joshua Lee in fifth. Kendrick, out of this top five, who do you think has the best shot at getting a podium should the opportunity present itself for either of them? It seems as
Right, welcome back.
I was just saying, we've got Swordfish in pole position, Rashi in second, Julie Brown in third, Rogers in fourth, and Joshua Lee in fifth. Out of this top five, who do you think has the best shot at securing a podium should the opportunity present itself?
Oh, I mean, I would gladly give it to either Roger or Julia Brown at this point, because, I mean, from what I saw there, I think they can hold their own.
Definitely.
But there we go as we wait for the 6 red lights in the Santa Corsa.
Yeah, 6 red lights. We'll get the reverse grid race going very shortly. We've got 3, we've got 4, we've got 5, we've got the final 6th light. And it goes out. The reverse grid races go here at Spielberg, and it seems as though Swordfish got a very good start. Sorted the bus, I believe, and Swordfish will hold position going to turn number 1. Let's see if turn 1 is clean for 2 races in a row. It seems as though they keep their nose clean. A bit of argy-bargy there, but not too bad as they... Oh, someone's around.
Someone's around.
Oh, Cat's gone around. Sashi Cat's gone around. Nothing to see there, but yeah, as the race goes on, it seems as though Rashi has found a way into the lead of the race. Swordfish getting a bit mugged there, and Rohe.
Rogers.
Yeah, Rohe around the outside, getting his elbows out, already up into 5th place. And yeah, Rohe's made an incredible start. And after the damage made by the bus in race 1, Rohe's picked off exactly how he'd have wanted, and he's up into 5th place.
Let's see how Rohe will fare into this reverse grid.
Yeah, Rashi currently leading the race. Swordfish getting all sorts of squirrely there, and just breaking there a bit on the exit.
Just getting hit, but there we go. Rohe down the inside of Julia Brown.
Yeah, Rohe's had an incredible start, and I don't know if the bus will be awfully too comfortable about this. The bus is now up into 9th place. But all the advantage he made up in race 1, Ken Jake, it'll all be for nothing at this rate if he can't find a way past at the same velocity that Rohe is going, because Rohe already behind Rogers, and that's going to be a very difficult overtake. But if and when he can clear Rogers, I think he's going to be taking the lead of this race very shortly.
If and only if he gets past the Swiss Saber of Roger.
Yes, it's not an easy task, because many have tried and many have failed. So at the end of lap 1 in the reverse grid race, once again Rogers taking liberties with the track limits. What's he doing?
Yeah, he didn't get the memo as well up till this point. So what's next for him at this point? The DQ?
Probably. Honestly, at this point, if he keeps extending every corner, and he's done it again, yeah, this is just... Yeah, we're gonna have to see at the end of this race and figure out what's gonna happen, but... yeah. Anyways, the bus now up into 6th place, challenging NAF for 5th. Let's go on board with the bus, shall we? That's where the battle is at the moment. Got 2 McLarens. These 2 finished 1st and 2nd in the first race, so both of these 2 have the raw pace this afternoon. This is a critical move for the bus, because he's trying to pass the 2nd quickest car on the day, and if he can get this overtake done, he can start.
Goodness, speed the acceleration out of there.
Yeah, he's gonna have to get this move done very quickly, because if he can get this move done, he can start to make amends. Yeah, on the cars ahead. And can he make it stick around the outside? Naf did an incredible job of holding it around the inside. Once again, the bus will have the outside going into the chicane, but he will have the inside for the 2nd bit of it. And
this is the racing I want to see.
Yeah, he does have it. Naf really forcing the issue. If I'm the bus, I'm going all the way to the left-hand side to open up the fast right-handers as much as possible. Naf will try to hang it around the outside. Can he hang it around the outside? Bit of contact there. I think Rohe has gone into the pit lane, if I'm not mistaken. I may be wrong.
No, it's Rashi.
Oh, Rashi. Yeah, Rashi's gone into the pit lane, but this is where the battle is for 3rd place. They are virtually trading paint at this point. Incredible racing.
I love this.
Naf will have the inside line. Once again, the bus holding it around the outside and just uses that exit ever so slightly. But I wonder what's going to happen in turn 3. This is inviting Joshua Lee and Brad M into the battle very conveniently. The bus will go defensive. Where is Naf going to go? He will probably go around the outside. Can he hang it around the outside?
Oh my god, there we go. There's Brad M.
Brad M trying to make it stick. Yep. And Naf has made a stick around the outside, and he's found a way back past into 4th place. This is not ideal, but this is not too bad, Kendrick, because the bus is up into 5th place and he won't lose that many points. But the Mercedes, we know, is quick in a straight line. Brad M will be lining up a move. The bus just left the door open.
Yep. There we go. I mean, he took it on exit as well, but still, it's not ideal to be racing again if you're competing with your rival.
Even if you're that much quicker than someone, you do not leave the door open like that, Ken Jake. And that's probably just a bit of poor racecraft, probably potentially. Look, because this is what's going to happen. You're going to invite the car behind to go for moves, and you're going to cost yourself time, even if you're quicker and can hold them off. How much time he's lost to Naf in front as a result of this?
Yes, that is true. But here we go again. He's still Still opening it up for the other cars.
Yeah, this time he did take a tight defensive line. He's gone into the pit lane. Yeah, he's going into the pit lane, so I think he realizes that probably an undercut for him in this second race is the way to go. Whether that pays off for him, 20 minutes, just a bit under 20 minutes to find out. Naf now.
Naf and Julia Brown going at it.
Naf trying to find a way past Julia Brown in the Mercedes. Julia Brown will run it a bit deep going into turn number 1. Naf will try to square off the exit as much as possible. Just doesn't quite have the exit velocity that he would like, and I think Julia Brown will hold position at the moment for 3rd place, unless Naf will send it down the inside. He does seem to be in striking.
Looks like it.
Yeah, he does seem to be in striking distance. He shows the nose. Is he gonna commit to it though? I think he thought about committing it down the inside, but yeah, I think he realized about halfway through that braking zone that if he was committing to it, someone's gone around. I think Swordfish has gone around.
Swordfish gone around.
Swordfish has gone around, but yeah, like I said, I think he realized halfway through that braking zone that if he committed any more towards that overtake, he was running right into the back of the Mercedes driver, so decided against it, and probably the best move. Yeah, probably the best move he could have done at that point. So, yeah, the bus has come out in 8th place, right ahead of Kat. Let's go on board with Kat to see if she's made a mandatory pit stop this race, and she has, so she will be definitely one to keep an eye on, because she's come out 2 seconds behind the bus, Kendrick, and the bus just made his mandatory pit stop. And let's not forget that the bus was running up in 3rd place, so Kat once again with the undercut strat will be one to look out for towards the tail end of the race, and she'll have a great reference with the bus right in front. Meanwhile, Naf was trying to line up a move going into the first bit of the fast rights, but nothing doing there. And Julia Brown, I must say, Kendrick, I've been very impressed with his racecraft recently, you know?
Good defense, exactly.
Yeah, he's holding his own quite well against some of the league regulars, but I think this is probably a fire. This battle now will potentially come to an end very shortly. Naf down the inside, should have the line, should have the exit, but Julia Brown will have the straight line speed. What did I say at the top of the show, Kendrick? Turn 3. That is potentially where you want to make your move, because turn 4 with the angle of the corner and the way it kind of tightens up on exit potentially isn't that good for making an overtake unless you've got DRS, which these cars don't.
Oh my god,
Julia Brown almost took that position back, but Roger's gone around.
Roger's gone around.
Where's that?
What happened there between the two of them?
I'm not sure, but
Rohe's now in 1st place now.
Rohe's now into the lead of the race, and Rogers with a bit of an unsafe rejoin there. And Rohe Robinson, the Iowa Jamaican, who had a disastrous opening race here, is back into 1st place and trying to make amends for all the points that he has lost. And if he can finish here, he will potentially half the damage made this weekend, which would be quite something considering how far off the pace has been.
Oh, Tim Stall is in trouble.
Yeah, Tim Stall is in trouble, and look who's right behind him, Slushy Cat. I can tell you now from personal experience, that is the last person you want right beside you. Rashi and the bus making contact ever so slightly.
This is not going good for him.
Yeah, the bus hangs it around the outside. It will be interesting to see how that undercut strat works for him. So, yeah, like I said, Kendrick, Kat will have a very good reference in front of her. He's going to have the fastest driver this afternoon in front of her for reference. So, Kat trying to make a move down the
inside. There we go.
The fast rights, and she does make it stick rather. And Rashi drops 2 positions in a space of about half a lap. So, next up on her list is the bus, and let's see if she can close down that gap once again. I believe that they may have gotten close to begin with because of traffic, so let's see now in clean air, but see someone coming out of the pit lane there. I believe that's Brad N in the Mercedes, and yep, that's him coming out of the pit lane, so he's just made his mandatory pit stop. So yeah, so the first car to have made a pit stop is the bus. Cat in 2nd currently. The gap between the bus and Rohe,
I'm pretty sure Brad Ems was the first car to dive in the pits.
No, what I mean is the first car running on the track that's made their mandatory pit stop.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so as Kat gets on the sausage ground ever so slightly. 15 minutes left to go on the clock. Yeah, the gap
plenty of time.
Yeah, the gap between Rohe and the bus seems to be around 20 seconds. So, no, I'm not sure how long is it for trying to make it stick down the inside.
Oh my goodness me! Too close for comfort between the two of them.
Too close for comfort there, exactly like you pointed out, Kendrick. And almost ended in tears, but not quite. Joshua Lee did see it coming and opened up his steering ever so slightly. They live to fight another day. Joshua Lee maintains a hold at 8th place for now.
Yeah, as much as I hate to see someone diving in the inside. It's just a matter of it's pretty good if
Wait.
it's you, and it's pretty bad if you're
What
getting
happened to
dived on.
Rohe? Has Rohe just pitted? What's happening to Rohe? He made a probably.
Oh, I think he spun. Maybe probably spun somewhere.
I think he's made a big mistake because I saw him dropping down the leaderboard and I was like, has he made a mistake? And apparently not, because he's not in the pit lane. And Rohe's gone from first down to fourth in the space of about half a lap. Ah, once again.
Blunders?
I thought that he may have ironed out these issues in the first half of the season, but as we get towards the back end of the season, Kendrick, these errors are starting to creep up. And with 3 rounds to go, the bus is only 7 seconds behind, and that great position he had.
Rogers in front of
him. That great position he was in to half the damage that the bus inflicted on him in race 1. He's potentially going to be leaving the sprint race, losing even more points to the bus behind with that mistake. So unfortunate once again. And is the championship, the time in the championship starting to take a turn? Because when Rohe comes out after that mistake, we'll see where he comes out, but yeah, not ideal. But back to this battle. Last time, Brad M understeered ever so slightly on entry. This time, Joshua Lee gives him.
Oh, full commit on the inside now. Yeah,
Joshua Lee, I think's got a bit of PTSD from that last lap, and he left the whole track with him some more. And yeah, they just invited Brad M to pretty much go down the inside, and Brad M finds a way back up into 8th place. So yeah. But yeah, Kendrick, like I said, 3 rounds to go, and it seemed as though that Rohe ironed out those issues at the start of the season, didn't he? But it seems like the last few rounds that those errors have started to creep in once again, and can't afford them. Like, as someone who used to do league racing back in the day on the F1 games, I can tell you that you cannot afford mistakes at this part of the year, and sadly for him, he's made one, and he's going to go alongside Rogers, and he's going to potentially lose even more time in terms of the...
He's pushing him to the grass. I do not like that actions at all.
Oh my god.
Look at them.
Yeah.
He's still pushing.
So...
Oh, he's not leaving any room.
Yeah, that is very, very aggressive. And Rohe just turned in on him ever so slightly. Oh, more contact there. Yeah, showing a bit...
What is going on?
I think he's showing his displeasure a bit. Yeah, I wouldn't appreciate that at all. You know, bit of liberties there with track limits. I feel like the 2 drivers who've taken the most liberty with track limits today. Got them on the screen right now, battling it out.
Yeah, both of them.
I think the issue was that Rohe was in the racing line that Rogers has been running all afternoon, and he didn't appreciate that because he's all of a sudden like, why am I running 3 lanes lower than what I should have been running? This doesn't feel right.
I really don't like what Rogers did there.
Yeah, neither do I.
Those antics has to stop at some point.
Yeah, I mean, he's won a league race this season at Silverstone where Rohe dominated the first race, so clearly I had a feeling that he may have turned the corner, but I mean, I call things as I see it, Kendrick, and yeah, a bit too aggressive there. But anyways, Rohe will regroup, and he will have to regroup because he's very much losing time to the guys behind, and he needs to make as much time possible now towards the back end of this stint to make sure that once he does come into the pit lane, he does not lose as much time, but not going well for him at the moment.
Now, once again, this isn't the ideal terms for Rohe at the moment, because Tim Stall is already creeping up ever so closer.
And to remind the viewers who just tuned in, Rohe has not made his mandatory pit stop yet. The bus has, and so has Kat. Kat was sideways at turn 1, Kendrick, and she's going to come out ahead of Rohe. That's how badly it's gone wrong in the space of a few corners. Oh,
yeah, it's horrible. This isn't the thing that you wanted to see for the championship leader at the moment. I hate to see it. I hate to see things like this. It's not going well for you at this.
Yep.
Just hate that feeling. But there we go. Still Rohe is still fairly close to Rogers, but Rogers is not letting up even one bit to Rohe. Nobody's yielding and everybody's racing
we all
very
know.
hard, but
We all
my
know that.
opinion, not
We
very
all know
fair.
Rogers would not yield even if he was being lapped. So I clearly sent out a message just now that they've been noted for track limits. I got through to Rohe for that corner at least, but Rogers still extended that corner on entry. So oh well, it's going to have a very big penalty coming its way. But here we go once again. Rohe signing it up. Oh my god!
my goodness me! Please!
Oh,
Oh my goodness me! That is very poor judgment and driving.
I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now. Cannot
Give
believe.
him the black flag already. Those antics has to stop. I mean, I can feel that Rohe at the moment will be so furious at that behind that wheel, but I myself is getting even more so disappointed from all the events that's
You
taking
cannot
place.
come back onto the racing line after defending that aggressively, and you cannot just squeeze somebody off like that going into the corner.
Yeah, I mean, that's horrible. I mean, I did see Rogers moving into the braking zone just to defend Rohe on the turn one.
But once again, yeah. But these two have been having a decent old ding dong this race, haven't they? They're still going at it.
Exactly. I mean,
While all that's been
yeah,
happening, nothing to separate these two. Let's go back on board with Rohe, shall we? Just to see what's happening and see if the memo has gone through to Rogers.
Oh my god, he's sliding sideways.
I think Rohe's best bet will be, down the inside, because I feel like...
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, because if he was to hang it around the outside, as Julia Brown in front dives into the pit lane. But yeah, like I said, if he was going to be around the outside, he was just going to keep getting
Nobody's
squeezed.
yielding
Yeah.
any inches.
He needs to make it stick. He needs to make it stick because he cannot afford to be stuck behind. Rogers leaves the track and gains an advantage and slips right behind. Oh, the bit of
He
contact
hits
there.
right behind the quarter. Yeah.
Tell you what, Rohe is one cool individual because I would be fuming right now. Rogers
I would
will
be.
go for a move, I would say. Knowing him, no, he doesn't. I think Rohe just runs about half a lane lower. If he ran just the racing line, I think Rogers would have put a bit more into that move, but
Yeah,
yeah.
and look at behind you. The bus is already behind them.
Yeah, and he's already made his mandatory pit stop. So, yeah, go figure. And now the question is, for the bus, how aggressive does he get with the Rogers in front? He's got a championship
Yeah,
to
I
think
want to
about.
see. Exactly, I want to see how
Unless,
the bus.
unless obviously, Rogers dives into the pit lane before that, we'll see. But bit of decisions to make for the one of the two championship contenders very shortly.
Oh my goodness me! I am very lost for words at the moment of what's happening. I just can't believe. I'm very displeased with it.
Rohe Robinson goes into the pit lane, the Ironwood Jamaican, to make his mandatory pit stop. And yeah, it's already going to get overtaken by the bus. So
Yeah, here we go. I think it's the bus problem by now.
yeah, so the bus keeping it in. Bus extending a bit there on the entry, so we'll see what happens. But yeah.
All right, less than a second now between Rogers and the bus, and I want to see how the bus will fare against Rogers.
If I'm the bus, I am going to take my time with this one. Let's go on board with Naf really quickly to see what Naf is up to. Has Naf made his mandatory pit stop? No, he hasn't. So the bus still in third place, being the first car on pit road, down pit lane rather. Yeah, he's
basically first place.
Yeah,
now.
well, we'll see. It depends how much time he loses behind Rogers right now. If he loses 2-3 seconds, that could be the win for Naf, which, I mean, is only a point. But in a championship fight, which is this close, every point counts, like I said. So, yeah, see what happens. And
yeah,
he's closing that gap, like we saw with Rohe. He cannot stick it around the outside. We cannot stick it around the outside of Rogers because he's gone.
Whoa! Is he going into the pits or?
Oh, he's just taking a very. Oh yeah, he is going into the pit lane. So the bus not losing much time there, and yeah, it's the first thing Rogers may have done correct this afternoon onto the right to get to the pit lane line in time. So that unleashes the bus, who is around, I would say, 17, 18 seconds behind, 19 seconds,
19.
but yeah, behind NAF. And let's go on board with NAF to see what lap times he's doing. So, seems though his lap time, wow, look at those lap times from NAF 35.6, 35.7, 35.7, 35.5, 35.4,
Human stopwatch.
35.9. Wow, that is incredible consistency. 19.3 seconds at the moment.
And it's a good thing Rohes is ahead of Rogers at right now.
Yeah, Rohe has come out ahead of Rogers, and yeah, Rohe will be down in 6th place. We'll see when NAF rejoins, but with the pace he's shown, Kenjay, he might. I don't know how much is it to transit through the pit lane, but I wonder if he's done just enough to still come out in the lead. But
oh my goodness me, there's that an end for Rohe. Has been spun, but what I believe is to be Rogers.
Did they come together? They were 3 seconds.
I don't know.
They were 3 seconds apart.
So it's probably Rohe with these a blunder probably on the sausage curves on the exit of turn 3, I guess.
Wow. And he's down in 10th place. He's gonna receive only 1 point for that, Kenjay. The NAF's in the pit lane, so let's just hold that thought about Rohe for now. Let's see when NAF rejoins. He is currently 18 seconds ahead. There you go, he's coming out of the pit lane now. Where is the bus? Let's go on board with the bus. There he is. He's going to be so close on pit exit. I think NAF may have done just enough during that stint, but the bus will have warmer tires, and he should. Oh my god, he does have the pace. I think
very close.
It's very close. 1.5 seconds with 3 minutes to go. There we go. We've got to fight for the win, Kenjay. We've got to fight for the win. Can the bus go 2 for 2, or can NAF finally win? These two finished 1-2 in race 1 rather, but it was inverted. Can NAF go 1 better, or will bus go back to back? Let's find out. Seems as though the bus. Seems as though the bus didn't quite get the exit through turn 3, and he lost about a few tenths there. So that's going to be very costly in a fight that is this close. And see if he can find a way to muster those few tenths again. I mean, NAF's race pace has been incredible. 35s. I mean, that's going to be hard.
He is the season 5 champion, correct?
Yeah, that's going to be hard for the bus to gain, even with his pace. He was doing 35s in race 1, and he's losing track of NAF a bit, ever so slightly. And yeah, I think he's gonna have to pull out something extraordinary here, or he's going to make a mistake from NAF for the bus to get close. I think the bus made a bit of a mistake into turn 3, and I think that mistake could prove to be quite pivotal, because that pretty much dropped him out of the slipstream, didn't it? Of NAF. Oh, speaking of mistakes, there is one. There it is, and that's gonna put the bus.
There is one big mistake. Yeah,
that exactly. Is a big mistake.
Crucial on the straight as well.
Yeah, that's going to put the bus in prime position going into turn number 1. Remember what I said? Don't go for the move into turn number 1. Head into turn number 3. The bus probably was listening to that. He's beautiful exit. NAF's gonna run the tight defensive line. The bus will go around the outside. It's NAF versus the bus. It's the season 5 champion against one of the championship hopefuls, the rookie in season 7. The bus looking to go around the outside. NAF will hang it around the inside. The bus will go for the switchback. I think NAF just got that car turned in the center of the corner absolutely beautifully, and he'll have the exit as well to go with it. And yeah, that was a dream. After having a disastrous center of the corner on the final corner of the previous lap, that time it was beautiful, and he manages to pull out a few car lengths on the bus. The bus makes up a bit of time there, and he squares up that corner as well. He carried the brakes so late into that corner. He somehow got that car stuck. He made that car stick rather, and he'll try to go around the outside of the Pirelli corner. Can he make it stick? Not quite. He's going to have the switchback though. Can he make the switchback work? Not quite. There'll be 2 laps to go at the end of this one.
Ooh.
I mean, if these two keep battling with the way they are, I wouldn't rule out.
Oh my god, Tim! Yeah, made a mistake right there.
Yeah, that's another mistake, but if he can just regroup his composure, he's still not out of it. It's just a second. He's losing a bit of time there. But yeah, like I said, when they were that close together, I want to rule out Cat for a potential win as well. But Yeah, that
Yeah, I mean, 2 more laps to go for these guys.
yeah, that's going to ease the pressure on Nat ever so slightly. And the bus went for I don't know if he had a moment, but that corner it is so easy. Lose the rears. We see great clouds over the racetrack. Wonder if rain potentially will hit the racetrack a bit late. I mean, if it was raining right now, a certain guy who's commentating would be on the racetrack rather than commentating. But sadly, it is not raining. But here I am. But yeah, 2 laps to go, and that gap is staying at 1.1. These two are so evenly matched for pace in the second race. I really think once again it's going to take a bit of a mistake. But look at the time that the bus made up. That the bus made through that corner. I think he made about a tenth or two through one corner alone. So
His braking style is immaculate.
yeah, he is absolutely throwing everything, trying to get this one final extra point in the sprint race. I mean, with his championship rival down in 10th place, he's trying to inflict as much damage. He's trying to inflict as much of a dent into that championship lead as possible. But Nat's got other ideas. He wants to win one for himself, and he will be 1 lap away from doing just that in a few corners' time. Can the bus find a way back towards the bumper of NAF? We've got about a lap and a bit to find out, so hold your breath, ladies and gentlemen, as we go through the fast two right-handers for the penultimate time this afternoon. The Bruneian driver trying to hold off the German. Here we go, final lap here at the Red Bull Ring. 9/10 of a second the gap between the top two drivers, with Slushy Cat 2/10 behind. It's not over yet, Kendrick. One moment, the Nat's got to be absolutely perfect, because you know that if he makes a mistake, that the bus is going to be hot on his heels, and he seemed to have a bit of a moment to turn one there, Kendrick, and he lost 2/10 there alone.
He's getting ever so closer and closer, but does he have enough time?
We know the Red Bull Ring is not the biggest track in the world. He's running under braking zones. He's going to have about 3 to 4 braking zones more.
Oh, they're going bogged down.
Yeah, he bogged down there. I think he hit that bump. Yeah, I think he hit that bump ever so slightly. There's a nasty bump on the inside of turn 3. Sometimes the outside is preferred for that, and it seems as though that's going to be all she wrote, because it's 1.3 seconds now as we come towards the end of the second sector, and I think Nat has done just enough in the McLaren.
Yes, I mean, that's fairly a lot of time. Yeah, I mean, these guys are going at it, but yeah, they're making mistakes, but still, I think Nap is gonna come ahead of this race.
Incredible. They're gonna invert their positions from race 1. It seems as though the bus won race 1 with Naf in second place. Invert that. It's going to be Naf who's going to win the sprint race, it seems, as he goes into the final 2 corners for the final time this afternoon. A great drive for him, and he's going to round it off the final corner. The Season 5 champion strikes back in race 2 to come home and win here in Spielberg. The bus will still inflict almost maximum damage in terms of the championship. He's going to close that gap down to about 10 points, and with 3 rounds to go in this championship, it's very much game on at the top once again. Slushy Cat has done an incredible job to come to finish in third after the lap 1 incident that she had. But what a race. And Julia Brown in fourth. Once again, great showing, like I said, very impressed. Rashi in fifth. Suchi will be coming across the line shortly. Joshua Lee and M 7/10 apart, Kendrick. Those two have been almost impossible to separate all day. 6/10 now.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a great story for the bus, but gotta feel bad for Roy at this race.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to rush, Kendrick. So, do you have any final closing thoughts?
No more final closing thoughts. Just stay tuned for the next race.
Yeah. Well, the championship is going down to the wire, and I believe this is the first time in Artito history, or one of the first times in Artito history. Not one of the first times. What am I saying? Have we had a championship fight go down this close before? Can't think of any.
From what I can recall, I don't think so.
Season 5 was Season 5 potentially, but we know Ballista stopped. Season 4 we had a runaway. Season 3, yeah, this may be the first season that's gone down. Kendrick, to the
I
wire.
don't believe. Yeah, I didn't believe that the MX-5 was a close battle. Maybe for second and third, but not first place.
Yeah. But yeah, Kendrick, thanks for your help. And next weekend I'll be in a different location to commentate. I'll be in Melbourne, so we'll see how that goes. But thank you very much for your help, and I'll see you next weekend. Thanks to all our viewers, and see you again next time.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be there. But yeah, thanks again for sharing the commentary booth with me. Have a safe journey going to Melbourne. We still need
Thanks,
you.
mate. Absolutely. Thanks, mate. All right. Thanks, everybody.